my channel, and today I have WandaVision episode 7 and episode 8 reviews. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be a fun time. First, let me just address this. My camera broke, and so I've been filming like this. So this video and like all my and the other WandaVision video I'm going to film are going to be like this. Then I'm going to have some videos that are filmed regular because I pre-filmed them before my camera broke, and then I have some swaps coming up and they're going to be filmed like this. And then in May is when you're going to see like a bunch of sit-down videos like this because I don't have a camera. So yeah, just going to kind of go back and forth for a while. So, episode 7, let's just talk about it because it was so good. First off, I just want to say episode 8 was fantastic. My favorite episode yet. It was great. We'll get to that though. But first, episode 7. Once again, I'm going to try to talk fast so that we're not here forever because I wrote a lot of notes. Okay. In episode 7, Wanda's just kind of laying in her bed, and yeah, she's just like, dang, what'd I do? So Wanda just kind of feels bad for doing all that. Like, she didn't mean to. She, like, did not mean to do any of this. It just kind of happened, and we're here now. Like, expanding the whole world that she has. Since Vision is back in her world, that he was awake again, he isn't laying on the ground anymore, and he gets Darcy, he like uses little mind tricks to get her out of Wanda's thing. The twins were like talking about Pietro and like the uncle, and she was like, that's not your uncle. And they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, not your uncle. So she does not like him anymore. And she kind of just cracked, and it's just like she uses her powers whenever it's necessary, whenever she wants to, really. Everything in the world was changing. Like, it wasn't working out for her anymore. Like, she had like the milk, it went from like the fancy bottle to like the carton to like the old school milk. So yeah, there was that. Everything was kind of changing and she doesn't really have control of it anymore. I thought the depression commercial was really interesting. I thought the depression commercial was really interesting because that's just how she feels, so it like mimics how she feels at the time. Monica then, so back to Monica and Jimmy. They are going to meet Monica's person, who everyone thought was going to be someone like really cool. It wasn't really. I mean, she was a cool lady, but it wasn't like anyone, like, people thought we might get like some Fantastic Four people. It's like, interesting, but no. Monica has like the space rover thingy, and the lady was like, it can get through anything, we're good here. And so Monica gets in like the space suit thingy, and they tried going into the hex that way, and it didn't work. Like, it started changing into like a semi-truck, and then it just kind of like spit it out. And then Monica just goes in anyway. She just goes in for herself. And then she changes, becomes a superhero, which she's like a couple of names. I think one of them is like Photon? Something like that. Okay. And then Darcy and Vision are just like sitting in the funnel cake car and driving to go to Wanda, and Darcy just kind of filling in Vision like, hey, you died. She had to kill you first, then the bad guy brought you back, and then he killed you and she watched it. So yeah, she's kind of filled them in, just on the little minor details. And then Monica gets to Wanda, and she was like just explaining to her like, hey, you're a good person. I know what you're going through. Can you like stop this? And expect the Hayward guy to do something because he has plans, which we find out what they are in episode 8. We will get to that. Wanda just gets pissed that Monica's there, so then she like uses her witch magic on her again and pushes her out, and then she tries to slam her into the ground, and like Monica is like a whole superhero pose, and people are like, yes. I really liked the part where Monica told Wanda, don't let him make you the villain. And she's like, maybe I already am. And I'm like, that's really good. But Wanda, you're not the villain. You're a good person. We all know that. Agnes looks out her window, sees Monica there. It's like, no, you leave. And then she takes Wanda back to her house. Wanda's sitting there. She sees like the sandwiches that Agnes made for the twins, and like the TV was on. And she was like, where are the twins? And she's like, they're in the basement. Why would they be in a basement, Wanda? Why did you think they would be in a basement playing? No child is playing in the basement. They're scared of those things. So Wanda goes into the basement. She goes into the little creepy lair, and and Agnes is like, I'm Agatha Harkness. It's like, nice to meet you. It's like, we kind of knew, but it's just exciting to hear her say it. Like, everyone kind of, like, really especially because they chose a name that was very similar, like Agnes, Agatha. It was kind of similar, so, like, we all kind of knew, but it was still very exciting to actually hear them say it. It's like, yes. And then she kind of used her powers on Wanda. Like, she used her little purple powers on her. We found out that Agatha was controlling Pietro. And yeah, she controlled a lot. So the episode is over, and then there was like an end credit scene, and it was Monica finding Agatha's basement, and then Peter Peter comes up and he's like, Snooper's gonna snoop? Is that what he said? Something like that. It's like, alright. And then it just kind of cut, and then we haven't seen Pietro since, like not even episode 8. Peter is Peter. We're not doing Pietro anymore. That was fake. It's Peter again from X-Men. Moving on to episode 8. I got a lot more notes. We're already 10 minutes in. Hopefully I can edit a lot of this out. In episode 8, it starts out and we see Agatha's past, which was very cool. We got to see all of that, and that was very interesting. Agatha made a comment to Wanda, and she's like, wow, that accent really comes and goes. And she's like, yes. Everyone thought Agatha was doing everything in the world, but in episode 8, we find out Agatha wants to know how Wanda did it. She knows Wanda did it. Like, there's no one else that could have done it. It was Wanda, and Agatha wants to know how she did that. And she'll use that to her own benefit. Well, then we get to go see Wanda's past, which was fantastic. Oh my god, that was so good. First off, Wanda's family loved watching TV to learn English. We see why that's so important. It was happy. They lived in like an actual war zone, so it was happy. It was entertaining. They learned English, which is pretty useful. It was just something to take your mind off of the actual world. So we found out that's why she loves sitcoms. She kind of based off her whole world with sitcoms. We get to, then that was the scene also that we got to see from Age of Ultron, like when the Wanda and Pietro were explaining to Ultron why they hate the Avengers, mostly Tony Stark, but why they just don't like them and they want to be against them. So yeah, that was interesting that we actually got to see that scene. Like, it wasn't just described. Like, even when they were watching TV, I'm like, oh no, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And it still was like, no! Yeah, this episode I actually cried in. I haven't cried yet, but I cried in this one. There was lots of sad things. No, I did cry when Monica came back from the snap from Endgame. From Infinity War to Endgame. So yes, I did cry in that episode, which I think was 4. But I haven't cried since. Wanda and Pietro have the bomb in front of them, like, from when they were kids, and the bomb was there, and they thought it was defective. And Agatha's like, no, you're like a little, I love when she said baby witch, and how she said it, I just thought it was funny. But she's like, you're a baby witch, and you use a probability hex on it, and stopped it. So yeah. Moving on from that, we got to see how Wanda, like, really activated her powers. It was Loki's staff, the little stone, don't remember which one it is, but the little stone, and it was like the blue one, and then it turned yellow, and then she saw like the actual silhouette of Scarlet Witch in it, which was fantastic, and then she kind of passed out. Yeah. Agatha said that was like that stone helped her keep her powers, like it really brought them back, because they were kind of disappearing, because like in like the witch things, they're always like, oh, if you're a kid and you have it and you don't use it for a long time, like when in your adolescence, if you don't use it, then the whole powers go away. So because of that, her powers didn't go away, and it really activated them. And we move on to right after Ultron and after Pietro died, and Vision was just kind of there. No one else was there for her, and she kind of just watched more sitcoms to make her happy, because they're funny. Nothing ever bad happens to them. Like, even when Vision came in, he like never saw it, and then like, it was Malcolm in the Middle, and, like, something fell on the guy. Like, he was building something and it fell onto him, and then he was like, it's funny, because the guy got injured. And she's like, no, he didn't. It's like, how do you know? And then she's like, it's not that kind of show, which is true. That happens in a sitcom. We all kind of know. It's funny. They're not hurt, though. After that part, Agatha's like, okay, so your parents are dead, your brother's dead, Vision's dead. What happens next? What happens when everyone that she ever loved and that ever loved her is gone? No one's there to help her anymore, really. We go into the part where she's going into Sword to get Vision's body. She's talking to the guy at the front desk, and she was like, I just want to give him a funeral. I was like, like, wait, what? And like, the Hayward guy. And then we go more into it. She just wanted to give Vision a funeral. That is all she wanted for him. He deserved it. She deserved it. She said she deserved it, which is so true. I mean, if you watch your loved one, like the person you want to be with forever, die, you should give them a funeral to honor them and to make you feel better as well. I put it in here. Hayward is an asshole. I hate him. There we go. So she goes in and he shows her this, and it's like, what is this? And it's like, it's what you see. And she realizes it's Vision. They're taking him apart. And he's like, we're dismantling him. It's like, okay. All she wanted to do was bury him, give him a funeral. And then Hayward is like, really? Because someone with your powers could bring him back to life. It's like, and she was like, no, I don't want to do that. So it's like, I was like, when I heard him say that, I'm like, you put that idea in her head and then try to play it off as that's what happened, didn't you? It's like, yes, he did. Because she didn't take his body. Okay, so then she breaks the glass. Like, he literally said to her, he's like, he is not yours. And it's like, I'm pretty sure in Infinity War, right before he died, he was saying, like, I am yours. He was like, you can never hurt me. All I can feel is you. And I was so sad because she goes to see him, and she just said, I can't feel you. And it's like, no, that was so sad. Especially because, like, he said, all I can feel is you before he died, and she can't feel it anymore. Like, it would make sense because, like, you're just looking at the body that was made for him. Like, he is gone. You can bring, if anyone's seen Pet Sematary, you can bring a body back, but you can't bring, like, the actual soul back. Then she gets in her car, leaves Sword, and she's just driving around, and she goes to Westsuit. It's like, oh, what are you doing there? And then she walks up to where her house is, but it's like just a plot. And Vision and her bought property to build a house. Yeah. And then he, like, put a heart around it, and he's like, to Groldle. And it's like, no, they like, gave us so much and then just took it away. It's like, why? She doesn't deserve this. Vision doesn't deserve this. This is when basically her emotions just took over and she exploded and created the whole world. Didn't even mean to. She just got fed up. She's like, I'm done. And it just kind of made it. And she created a happy place that she will be happy in. She created Vision. Between her powers, her, like, heart, how she feels about him, and her mind, basically, it created Vision. Mixing all those things created Vision as, like, a figment, but real. But kind of real. So, yeah. Hayward is an asshole. He put everything she did, the breaking the glass, opening the doors to her, but because they had the buzzer and she's like, I'll just get it. Between that, the breaking the glass, and, like, going down to be actually Vision, he edited that all up to make it look like she stole the body and, like, was, like, faking it. It's like, no, that's not what happened at all. So then, Agatha got what she wanted. She got to see how Wanda did it. And we saw Agatha with Tommy and Billy, and she was like choking them. She had like strings around their necks. Strings, like powers, like that. She has had them, and she's telling Wanda that she's dangerous, that what she is not supposed to be real. Her magic is not supposed to do good things. It does not do good things, which is funny coming from Agatha, because she didn't really use her magic to do good things, but whatever. And they called her the Scarlet Witch, which is like, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally, we have a Scarlet Witch. She's been in the MCU since 2015. It's 2021 now. For about 6 years, we have had Wanda. They brought her in. They're like, hey, this is her. This is a little bit about her story. Cool. Now, just deal with her being there. Not really in a lot of scenes, but like in every scene, she like is fantastic in it, and it's like, yes. But she's not going to be in a lot of scenes, and we're going to show you how cool her, like, powers are, but we're really not going to do anything else in it. And this, like, whole show just gave us everything we wanted from Wanda. So that was the end of the episode, but we still have an end credit scene, and it was Hayward, and he's like, oh, we've taken it apart and put it back together a lot of times. Like, oh, we're so dumb, we could have just took energy from Wanda's powers, put it into this, and there we go, we have an evil Vision. We pet cemeteried Vision, that's basically. So we have, okay, so Vision was a mix of Jarvis, Ultron, and, like, getting his own personality, like, the stone gave him, like, his own personality. And basically, they took away Jarvis and the stone part and just brought back Ultron. Good job. And he's gonna use that to kill Wanda, because he said in the past episode, like, he wants Wanda gone. He's like, the only solution to this is killing her. And then Monica was like, no, like, Wanda is the solution. We gotta use Wanda against herself to make her realize something. And Hayward was like, no, we have to kill her. So I was going to try to use that Vision. The creepy Vision, the evil Vision, the, like, completely black and white creepy thing. His eyes, though, were freaking me out. I did not like that. This was longer than the last one. I tried to make it fast, you guys. I really did. If you watched this, thank you so much. I'm going to try to edit it down a lot. Next week is finale. We're so excited. Next week it's just going to be one episode, last episode. So hopefully that one's not this long. And then we're getting apparently this documentary on how they made WandaVision, which I'm really excited about because I love documentaries about Marvel. So yes, that was all I got for you. Let me know if you're excited for the finale. I really am. So excited. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. And I will be doing Falcon and the Winter Soldier after this show as well, because I love talking about these Marvel shows. And then Loki was supposed to come out in May, but they said that the official release date is now June 11th, which is 2 days before my birthday, so that's kind of fun. So next up will be Falcon and the Winter Soldier after WandaVision's over. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in another video. Bye!